Con motivo de las próximas elecciones en Estados Unidos, he reunido varios estudiantes americanos de la Universidad de Navarra y les he hecho preguntas sobre cuestiones generales. Esto fue lo que nos contestaron.
Well, every state has their own rules. In my state, what you have to do is apply for an absentee ballot. You're actually allowed to apply for it with no reason at all if you just don't feel like going on the day of the elections, or if you live abroad or anywhere in the country. So I applied for that, and then the ballot arrived at my house. My mom mailed it to me, and now I'm mailing it back to Rhode Island, where I live.
You have to go to your state City Hall, and then they give you an absentee ballot, and through that you're able to send your vote in to the state so they can count it.
You have to go to your state capital and apply for an absentee ballot.
You have to register for an absentee ballot so that way it gets delivered to where you are, and then that way you can vote and you can send it back to the United States.
Where are you from?
From Texas.
Okay, so if you want to vote, you have to get an absentee ballot, and the way you do that is you email your my council is North Carolina, so I have to email them or write them a letter telling them that I'm going to be leaving, and I have to tell them my home address and also give them other information such as the mailing address for my location here. And so they will mail me the absentee ballot, and I just have to turn it in before like the 9th of November in order to be able to get my vote to count.
I mean, yeah, I look at all this stuff on CNN and Fox News, but I mean, I'm not like a super hardcore fan.
Yeah, I followed a lot actually. I always read Google News and see all the articles about the different candidates and what's going on in the race, and I go on realclearpolitics.com to see the different polls, and so yeah, I follow a lot actually.
I have, as much as I've been able to over here, utilizing the internet, CNN, watching the debates they have on YouTube. So it's a bit harder than it would be at home, because at home it's plastered all over the news. But here you kind of get like afterwards what happens. But yeah, I've been
following. I was slightly disappointed. I'm more pro-Obama. I have been pretty disappointed with Obama, but his campaign should have been stronger in the beginning. Now it's actually gaining speed. Well, it was gaining speed in probably the last third. It should have been strong from the beginning. I think he was taking it a little too lightly, but now he's pretty strong. He's been hitting it hard, and I think that's pretty good. His points are very strong. He's always been a strong speaker, very good speeches, and sticks to his points and knows exactly what to say in the exact right point in time. So I think it's been very strong, and he's got good backing, at least from Chicago.
I feel like he just tries to get in your face a lot about the campaign, and he's just like, from what I've heard, it's just like he just keeps on like fighting back at Romney, and he's not really like stating anything new necessarily. He's just like saying like, look at what he's saying, like I can change it, I can make it better, and then he's just like trying to make like the lower class vote for him because he knows that a lot of people don't like that Romney is like super wealthy. So
I'm a little disappointed in his campaign because last time it was very positive, all these kind of new messages, and it's become very negative. He instead of kind of offering a plan, he just really attacked, I think, the other candidate, Mitt Romney. So I'm not as impressed with his campaign.
I think that he is a good leader. I think that he's a very smart individual, and he kind of tries to represent the best interests of everyone in the country, including like the poor people.
Ooh, Obama. Well, I'm totally against Obama and everything, and his economic plan, his social reform plan, and his medical plan. So I think it's a bunch of crap.
I feel like it's positive because he's trying to look out for Americans and get more jobs in America instead of outsourcing them, and also try to be a representative of the minorities and the working class people of America, so I feel like it's okay.
I like it a lot. I think that he doesn't get enough credit because I think at this time where we are right now as a country, there's a lot of issues that are not going to be fixed in 4 years, in 8 years. It's going to take a lot of time. It's not going to make there's no way to fix one issue and make everybody happy. There's no way to do it. And I think considering what he had to start with and how he is doing now, I think he's come a long way, and I think he's done pretty well considering that he was dealing with a war and with our economy and with the health issues and all those stuff. I think he's doing a very good job. I mean, it's a hard thing for anyone to do, and I don't think he's, doing a bad job. He's doing what he needs to do, and there's no quick fix. And I think that's the problem, is a lot of people are saying, well, by now we should have seen something dramatically different. And I think that's a problem because you can't see something to fix it permanently. There's no way you can see it dramatically different.
Well, I'm biased because I don't really like Obama, but for example, I think that his campaign is a lot less strong than it was in 2008. It was, I think a lot of people thought that there was going to be some huge change that they could see and they could feel, and they didn't see it, and so now they're just kind of saying, well, we just need more time, and so it's a little bit nowhere.
I think his campaign is really good because he appeals to a lot of people, but I really hope it doesn't work and that Romney wins.
For me, Obama is, he does seem to be coming from the view of the 99%. I feel like his economic plan is geared more towards, helping, to get to jobs and to repair everything that's been happening. And so yeah, I feel like Obama's campaign it's pretty well thought out.
I think that his campaign is not the greatest in the world. I think he bashes a lot of Romney, what Romney does, and yeah, I'm not a fan.
Neon heart, take glow eyes, city lit by firefly.
I think he's had a pretty good campaign. He's definitely, I think, passionate and has tried a few new things, so I think he's run a pretty good campaign.
I think Romney appeals to the people, and he's more friendly and realistic.
I think Mitt Romney's campaign is great. He really speaks the truth, and I think he does a really great job telling the people what he's going to do.
I think his ideas are good. I just don't believe he's going to actually follow through with anything he says. So, I'm 50-50.
And pretty successful. Personally, I'm not a fan of his because he's going to bring back a lot of fossil fuels back. And while that'll make short-term jobs very accessible and bring in like trade and things, it's not a long-term plan. Like Obama has a plan for renewable energy and the jobs that'll actually last. But it's going to take another term at least for Obama to do it. And Mitt Romney, yeah, but it'll actually, in the second debate, Obama made a good point saying that it'll basically just go back to the way Bush left things.
It doesn't really go along with my beliefs, and I think that he probably is more in the interest of big business, which is not what I think, it's not the direction in which I think the country should go.
Well, I like Mitt Romney. We'll put it this way. I don't like him, but he's the lesser of two evils, and I thought it was a really good choice to pick Paul Ryan since Mitt Romney's kind of wishy-washy and Paul Ryan's a lot more concrete in his ideals.
With Mitt Romney's campaign, I would say that he has a pretty strong platform. The only things that I'm not really favorable of are the cutting of the Obamacare, is because a lot of Americans do not have health care, so it's kind of sad for those people that aren't being provided health-wise. Yeah.
I do find it a bit, it's kind of geared more towards the 1%, I find. I feel like he is uber Republican, like just to the extent, and I think in this economic crisis that America's having, it's not the best option.
I think Mitt Romney in his campaign, like I think he addresses a lot of the problems that people are not liking about Obama.
Okay, Mitt Romney I don't like, personally, because the one thing that stuck out with him for me was there was one debate, and from the end of the debate what they got from it was basically he wants to make more jobs for people that are not in the United States, which to me makes no sense because I understand everyone's in a bad economy right now, but you can't help anyone else if you can't help yourself. I just don't like the way he's doing his campaign. It's all I hear about him is his family and his religion, and I don't see how that's relevant at all to any of it. To me, I personally think that the war right now, I'm Middle Eastern, so for me I have ties to that. I would love to see something done about that. And education, I'm a college student. I want to have a job when I come out. So for me, things that are applicable to me, and I think realistic plans, just as long as they have plans and they're honest and they explain it to us. So we at least know at the end of their term if they actually listened and did what they said they'd do or not. Things like that.
Well, I base my decision on a lot of different things, but certainly my faith is very important, so social Catholic doctrine comes into the perspective. So I think at the end of the day, that's probably the most important issue for me, and that's what I vote on in the end.
In general, for a candidate that I look in like their points and their stances, I basically look for what I can benefit from in my future, and as well as my parents, because I'm going to be having to deal with them when they're older as well. And while I'm for universal health care, the bill that passed, I agree with it, but at the same time it does make elderly health care a little bit less full. At the same time, I really like Obama's long-term energy plans and things in that nature, because not only do they give us our own energy in the long run so we can actually get, instead of being in a deficit, be in, the green, but also it creates jobs and long-lasting jobs that are actually worthwhile.
3 main issues are economic plan, whether the candidate is pro-life, and whether he is for or against gay marriage.
The economy's been a big thing, especially for me and my family. We've felt the squeeze of the economy, but also then there's the issue of pro-life, which is always a big thing, especially when you're Catholic. I feel like those are the 2 main things that I base my vote on, and it's kind of contradictory for both, because Mitt Romney's pro-life, but Obama's not, and then Obama's economy, his economic plan, is better than Romney's. So this vote is pretty hard for me.
I think that the most important thing for me is that a person is rational and that they are able to take both sides of an issue into account and rationally make a decision about what is best for the country as a whole, what's best for everyone as a whole, and that they take the interests of everyone in mind.
I think the main thing for me is that pro-abortion versus pro-life is the main thing for me, and then what they're going to do to help the economy.
I think the first thing for me would be just pro-life. Second would be immigration, what they think about that, and then third would probably be what they think about the economy and what they're gonna do. If they're gonna do something on a bigger scale or just state by state.
I would look for accuracy and information. You don't want someone that's spewing out a whole bunch of random information without any sources to back them up, and also a good strong stance, no one that's going to keep changing from left to right. If you're going to be on the left, be on the left. If you're going to be on the right, be on the right. So someone that's firm in their beliefs, and also someone that actually is willing to get the work done even if it's going to take a lot of work.